Welcome back. On to today's big story, which is on the shipping sector. And after the slew of reforms that were announced by the government after the cabinet meeting yesterday, the cabinet having approved the shipping and maritime projects worth over 70,000 crore rupees. Now, this includes financial assistance and a development scheme for shipbuilding worth nearly 45,000 crore. The government also cleared a maritime development fund worth nearly 25,000 crore rupees. Now, speaking to CNBC TV 18, Shipping Secretary spoke to us, and we spoke to him to understand how will these reforms impact India's shipping sector amidst all the global headwinds that the sector currently faces. Here's what he had to say.
The Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Scheme builds upon an earlier scheme, which was the first version of the scheme. And the idea is to provide assistance to shipyards to bridge the gap between the cost of acquiring a ship abroad versus acquiring it in India. So this difference was about 15 to 20%. So this scheme incentivizes the cost of acquiring a ship, and it gives you a subsidy of 15 to 25% depending on how big the ship is.
Speaking about the shipbuilding development scheme, which is of 19,989 crores, how will this actually encourage ship manufacturing in the country and making it a larger exercise beyond the PSUs as well?
Yeah, so at the moment, some of the largest ship builders in India are either in the defense sector or in the sole one is the CSL in the shipping ministry, under the shipping ministry. The net result of having only a few shipyards in the public sector and a couple of them, in the private sector, like in Pipavav or L&T or Shaugule, etc. But the thing is, we don't have capacity. We produce only about 50 to 60,000 GT per year. And therefore, one reason we found was lack of capacity. So this scheme was brought in, one, to improve the capacity of the brownfield shipyards so that they can, they get about 25% subsidy. The cost of capital cost of setting up new infrastructure in a brownfield shipyard, up to 25% we will give them. Then in the new clusters, which are to be set up, about 2 or 3, they call shipbuilding mega clusters, we have programmed to give about 3,000 plus crores per cluster, and this cluster will be jointly implemented with the state government.
You also have a maritime development fund, which is pillar number 2, and the important component in this is the maritime investment fund of 20,000 crore that will be set up. Could you give us a sense of how this will incentivize ship makers in the country, allied sectors? There is also talk of private equity investors coming in, blended finance structures. How will this work? What do you really envision with this?
One of the reasons, like I said earlier, for the shipping industry not being a non-starter in India was that there was lack of finance. And so we have tried to do two things. One, like I said, the debt portion. The other is the equity portion. So we have brought in this MDF, the Maritime Development Fund, with a corpus of about 20,000 crores. Half of it will be, 49% will be contributed to by the government. The rest will come from the ports, from private funds and other international sovereign funds, pension funds, and so on. So that there is a corpus of about 20,000 crores spread over a period of about 10 years. And it can be much larger than that. And this can be then leveraged. So we expect that, about 7 times this will be the kind of investments that can be generated.
Okay, that's a very large sum, 70,000 crore boost. Ria is now joining in. Ria, first explain the impact, what are the implications for the sector?
Well, yes, this is a big push for the overall shipbuilding industry in India, which currently holds a very negligible share of the global shipbuilding market, estimated to be less than 1%. The scheme aims to support an overall investment of rupees 4.5 lakh crores into the sector as a whole. It also aims to support around 4.5 million gross tonnage of shipbuilding capacity, with the potential to reach around 8.2 million gross tonnage in shipbuilding output. These schemes have actually been designed to strengthen domestic capacity capacity, improve long-term financing, promote greenfield and brownfield shipyard development, and also enhance technical capabilities as well as skilling. Now, specifically the Maritime Development Fund, this provides long-term financing for the sector, reduces the effective cost of debt, and also improves overall project bankability. In terms of the Shipbuilding Development Scheme, this supports mega shipbuilding clusters in the country, infrastructure expansion, and it also aims to establish the India Ship Technology Center under the Indian Maritime University. Now, overall, we can expect an additional port capacity of around 250 million MMTPA with additional vessels over 2,500 as a result of these measures. These shipbuilding and maritime development reforms are to be spread across the next 10 years, and shipbuilding is also expected to have an overall employment multiplier effect of around 6.4 and an investment multiplier effect of 1.8, and the government is also expecting an additional 30 lakh jobs as a result of the Maritime Development Fund. In terms of the stock impact today, Cochin Shipyard and Garden Reach are trading higher by around 2.5 to 3%. Mazagon Dock is also seeing some gains of around 1% over the last 1 year as well. All of these stocks have performed quite well.
Okay, all nice sounding announcements, but it's spread over 10 years. And stocks are higher in trade, but you aren't seeing a lot of exuberance in them, just up 1, 2 to 3% odd.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We'll come back and get you more on the market. Stay tuned.